A very good afternoon to you. Welcome back. And I am back on your screen with Good Afternoon Ghana. This afternoon on Friday, the 16th of June 2023, we're focusing on the NPP. The primaries, all activities leading to the party's primaries to elect its flag bearers, or its flag bearer, apologies, we'll give you the details of that. But the polls that has been run on the party will give you the details of these polls. Now, there is what is already out in the news that Dr. BAWUMIA is leading the polls. But we'll give you some details that you probably would want to pay attention to so that his side of the camp will see if there are any areas for him to work on. And we'll be dealing with this with Musa K. Dankwa, who is the Executive Director for the Global Info Analytics. My name is Ania Fwampo. Let's take a break. He's preparing. When we come back, we'll go straight onto the touch screen analysis. Kofi Tonto will also join us pretty shortly to give us his opinions of what will be said about each slide of the polls. Welcome back. We're on Good Afternoon Ghana, and I'm in the studio with Musa Dankwa, Executive Director for Global Info Analytics. The latest is out, and that was strictly conducted on the NPP primaries and in terms of the flag bearership race. I also have been joined in the studio by Kofi Tonto, who is also a communications team member for the NPP, and he's also joined me on set. Kofi, you're welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Very good afternoon to you.
Your party is boiling this afternoon. Maybe from this morning to this afternoon. Well, it's on fire.
Rousing will probably be a more
appropriate word.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But how is it? Did you go to the party headquarters today?
No, I couldn't. As one of the spokespersons for the campaign, we have a part of the campaign team. Yeah. I was assigned to one of the TV stations to discuss what was transpiring at the party's office. A few of the other campaign team members were also, deployed to different platforms. So, I couldn't attend, but I went there after my program. Okay. Quite a successful program. I've seen pictures. So, it was good.
Yeah. Congratulations on that one too.
Yeah.
Musa Dankwa is also ready by the screen. You're welcome again. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
I was excited when they said you were coming. I was like, I saw the post last night. I'm like, why is he not in the studio already? So I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so let's go straight, into the polls now. Your touch is ready, right?
Right. This is a specific poll that we did for delegates of the NPP, polling station executives across 271 constituencies. And we interviewed 3,570 delegates across those constituencies. And they were picked randomly by the system, and we spoke to them over the phone during the period of survey. The interviews were held between 8th and 14th June. It's very, very current. And we had people with language skills who were able to communicate in the languages that best suit the delegates wherever they may be. Now, we assigned the sample of 3,570 to all the regions based on the voting size of that region in terms of delegates. So the breakdown is there. The largest.
I haven't seen this in all the polls that we've dealt with. I haven't seen this spreadsheet before.
Oh, they're always there.
Well, really?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't taken notes.
Yes.
The sample allocation,
yes,
I mean.
Yes, they're always there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So the big samples went to Ashanti region in Greater Accra because they contribute bulk of the delegates.
Okay.
Now, let's look at the demography of the people we interviewed. Now, female, 21% of the people we spoke to were female. 79 were male. So,
why?
Yeah, it's normally like that. When it comes to party delegates, men dominate.
Okay.
Then we have the age group. Those between 18 and 24, 2%, very small. 25, 34, 17%. Bulk, which is 37%, are between 35 and 44 years. and 23% are between 45 and 54, and 55 and 64, 14, above 66%. So this reflects the demography of Ghana largely.
Okay.
Then you have educational level of delegates. 12% have no formal education. 18% had tertiary education. Senior high, 35%. Junior high, 35%. So equal between the senior and the junior high. Religion. Traditional religion, 1%. No religion at all, 2%. Other religions, 3%. Islam, 17%. Christians, 77%.
Okay, then Islam was 17.
17%, yes.
And Christian is 77%.
Yes.
Okay, these are among the delegates.
Only delegates.
Yeah, okay.
And largely, by and large, it will reflect the structure
demographics of the country.
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes. And then the groomers were 1%, Mande 1%, Grushi 2%, the Guans 4%, Ewes 6%, Gan Adangbe 9%, Moli Dagbani 9%, other ethnic groups 12%, and Akans together make 56% of the delegates.
So, okay, so wait. There was religious groups that had tradition, non-religion, others, Islam, Christianity. And then when it comes to the Guma, Mande, Gushi, those are what?
They are ethnic groups, mostly, largely in the northern part of the country.
Okay, then there was a typo here because the religious groups was repeated with what I have on my phone, right? Yes, so that's...
so this is ethnic groups?
This ethnic groups.
Religion?
So come to the ethnic groups. So...
Maybe yours, maybe this updated version, maybe yours must probably a few versions old.
Okay, so I have ethnic groups on the top, right, just like this.
Okay.
But on the side, so on the phone, you see here.
Okay.
It's religious groups. So go back and see. I think you see.
I think. Oh yes,
this religious group.
Oh yes. Okay.
Exactly.
It should have been ethnic.
So
okay.
it has to be edited.
That's fine. We'll correct that. Now we took a look into the regions and see the level of education for the delegates in each of those regions. It tells us something. In Ahafo, 10% have no formal education. In Ashanti, it is 45% have no formal education. 28% in Bono, 31% in Bono East, 30% in Central, 34% in Eastern, 27% in Greater Accra, and 78% in Northeast region. They have no formal education.
Northeast?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
78%.
78%. Now, we'll look at the other region as well. 65% of OT delegates have no formal education. Now, if you look at those with higher qualification, they come from Northern region. 39% of delegates had tertiary education.
Okay.
In Savannah region, it's 44%. Upper East, 33%. So you could see that the most highly educated delegates are in the Northern region, in the Savannah region, Upper East region of the country.
Okay. Okay. If you can help us with our slide, we're having a bit of
that's great.
Touch problem.
It's frozen.
Okay, we have a bit of a touch problem. Let's see if you can.
Let's see whether this will work.
Okay. Okay. First, so as you're trying to work on it.
Okay, I'll use.
Okay, it's okay. You can use the mouse, yeah.
Yes.
But before that, results. Hold on with the results. Kofi, so far.
Well, Annie, a very good afternoon to you, and also a very good afternoon to my senior brother. First of all, we would like to say a big thank you for doing this. We take a very different position when it comes to these results. Okay. Very often, people go into defensive mood and try to bastardize the report. We don't do that. We have decided not to do that. Any and every research that comes out, we'll take it in all humility. We'll ascertain the validity of the report, of course. We'll ascertain the authors behind the report. but we will take it very seriously. So we sincerely appreciate what they've done. We are going to take it very seriously. Take time and dissect the reports, see where the positives are, and see where the negatives are. Because for the positives, we are going to work to entrench it, and then for the negatives, we are going to work to improve on it. So we can only be very grateful to Global Analytics and all other surveys and reports that will come up. Of course, there will be some quack reports that will come up, but nevertheless, whatever comes up or comes out, we'll take it, review and ascertain the validity and etc. of it.
Okay. Note that the sample size of this is 3,570.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good sample size, especially for the 200,000 people, because even when Afrobarometer does their whole Ghanaian survey, they use less participants than 3,000.
Wow.
Yeah. They use about 2,000 and change. Wow. So what it means is the error of margin is smaller here and everything. So look, if you're a political party, Dr. BAWUMIA has a Herculean task. We don't take it lightly within the NPP and then also after the NPP, and we go towards the main elections. He's a young person. Some feel that he just joined the party, irrespective of everything he's done. We have all other issues that people may raise as to why they may feel differently. Also, we have some very serious contenders in the race. You don't underestimate Alan Kojo Martin, for example.
So you're in the BAWUMIA's camp?
Oh, certainly. Okay. And that's what I was telling you. I'm part of the campaign.
Okay.
So you don't underestimate Dr. Honorable Jakon. You don't underestimate Kennedy Japan and Kojo Jaya Japan. All of them. The reason is, when you read the this report, Global Analytics, even though Dr. BAWUMIA wins in the initial elections, they propose that if there is a by-election, a runoff, then they are saying that a group of people will come together to support one candidate. So even though some may not show up strongly in the first elections, they may become your Achilles heels if there is a runoff. That is why you don't take anyone lightly.
Right.
That is why you treat everyone with respect and you work with everyone with respect. So that in the event that it gets to that, I don't think it will get to that. From our findings, it shouldn't get to that.
So let's go back to Global Info Analytics. And what I can say about Mr. Dankwa is that all the polls, I was going to say most of the polls, but all the polls, let me play it safe by saying most of the polls he have conducted have proven his way. You know, how he has called the polls, he's done it through the NDC to the members of parliament. You know, he's picked members of parliament, NPP, NDC. He's picked very sensitive constituencies that seem to be hot. You know, he picked them, he projected, he told us elements that may affect. It went almost the same way. So we don't have doubts that sometimes we want to pay attention to what he's giving us. All right, let's go through the results.
Here is the result. We wanted to kind of lay the foundation for the bigger question among the delegates, and also to enable us to see their mindset. So the first question in the poll was that, do they believe that Ghana is headed in the right direction or wrong direction? And among delegates, 70% said Ghana is headed in the right direction, compared to 24% who said wrong direction. And 6% have no opinion about that question. So you could see clearly that the delegates are overwhelmingly believing that Ghana is headed in the right direction.
How do you have delegates of a political party in power say we don't have an idea?
They are just human as everybody.
Okay.
So
let's just consider the 75% of uneducated people maybe.
No, you can't say that. We could have analyzed to see what is the background of these people making this comment. We haven't done that yet. We could do that. But at the moment, it's a broad number.
Okay.
Then we asked them whether they approve or disapprove the performance of the president. The idea is that we want to understand those who are approving the president in the race between Alan, BAWUMIA, and the rest. How are they splitting their vote? It tells you who among them is intrinsically tied with the president.
Okay.
In that case, 77% of them approve the performance of the president. 17% disapprove. 6% have no opinion.
That popular 6%.
Now, what we are going to show you now is the results of the race based on likely voters. It simply means that any delegate who said, I will not vote, his voice was discounted. So we want to really be close to the reality. For those who would go to the ballot and cast their ballot in the primaries, what their views are. Here we are. 34.8% of respondents said they were voting for Dr. Mahmoud BAWUMIA. 27.9% said they were voting for Alan Kojo Chrebating. 12.5% said they were voting for Kennedy Ohene Ejepon. 0.8% belonged to the rest of the pack, the 7 other candidates who were also vying for the position. 15.1% said they were undecided.
Undecided is bigger than Kennedy Ejepon and,
yes.
And others put together?
Yes, and that is very scary.
Wow.
And not disclosed. These guys, they know who they want to vote for, but they decline to tell us. For whatever reasons, we don't know.
Okay.
So you could see that even though Dr. Mahmoud BAWUMIA is on 34.8%, the destiny of the race lies in the hands of this bloc. Those who said they are undecided, how would they break out before the election? Would they go this way or split in the middle? Okay. We don't know yet. And those who said they will not tell us, they belong to either of these blocks, but they have declined to tell us. For whatever reason, we don't know. So whether the race goes to a one touch or runoff depends on the movement of these people on the election day. Let's see the regional breakdown of the results and peculiar nature of how the regions look. Right. In Ahafo, Dr. BAWUMIA leads 51%, Alan 28%, Ken 9%. In Ashanti region, BAWUMIA 38%, Alan 24%, Ken 10%. I'm going to focus on these top 3, and where it is huge, I will look at that.
And for the records, the green and the green is non-disclosed,
yes.
and then blue is under-disclosed. Sorry,
yes.
the C. No.
So I'll be looking like
the sky
deep,
blue
deep
is
blue, deep blue, red, gray, and to some extent the green, and then the sky blue.
Okay.
So the rest in the middle, no impact.
Okay.
In Bunu, BAWUMIA leads 41-34. In Bunu East, BAWUMIA leads 58-19. In Central Region, Alan leads 50%, BAWUMIA 15%, Kennedy 12%. In Eastern Region, Ken leads 27%, BAWUMIA 22%, Alan 14%. Look at this huge number. 34% said they were undecided in Eastern Region. These guys hold the key to who wins Eastern Region. In Greater Accra, BAWUMIA 35%, Alan 23%, Kennedy 20%, undecided 10%. I will not tell you 11%. So altogether 21% in Greater Accra.
Wow.
Northern Region, Northeast, 85% BAWUMIA, 2% Alan, 7% undecided. Northern Region, 48% BAWUMIA, 26% Alan, 17% not disclosed, 6% undecided. These guys, they know, but they won't tell us.
Yeah.
OT, BAWUMIA, 32%, Alan, 22%. Undisclosed, 15%. Undecided, 12%. 22%. So altogether, 37% of people are keeping mute. Savannah, BAWUMIA, 23. Alan, 53. Kennedy, 0. And then undecided, 21%. Upper East, BAWUMIA 56, Alan 21, undecided 20%. Upper West, BAWUMIA 40, Allen 28. I will not tell you, or I will not disclose, 15%, undecided 13%, altogether 28% there. Voter region, BAWUMIA 18%, Allen 24, Kent 9. I know, I won't tell you, 16%, undecided 33% in voter region, huge. Western region, BAWUMIA 29, Allen 38, Kent 11, I won't tell you 6, undecided 7%, and Western North, BAWUMIA 22, Allen 39, Kent 12%, undisclosed 15, and undecided 9%. So these are the regional breakdown of the numbers. Then look at the distribution of those who are saying not disclosed and undecided. You see some 3 bars or 4 bars are quite standing on their own. Ashanti region, 27% of them said they won't tell us or they are undecided. Eastern region, 36% they won't tell us or they are undecided. Oti region, 37% they won't tell us or they are undecided. And Volta region, 49% they won't tell us and undecided. These are hidden codes in what could happen in the NPP race in this region. This is NPP stronghold, Ashanti region. Why are they saying undecided or they won't tell us? Eastern region, the same thing. Something is happening in these 2 account regions. They must watch out. Voter region, 49%. OT, 37%. Voter and OT share the same characteristics.
Yeah.
So they are behaving in the same way.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, we asked them, what are your reasons for choosing the person you want to vote for in the election? In our previous work, we did some work, so we knew the kind of things they were mentioning.
Okay.
So we sampled the most common kind of criteria they wanted to use. So we gave them those options to choose from. 1 was competence. 2nd, worked hard for the party, integrity, better manage the economy, credible, it is his time, unifier, and other factors. And look at it. The most important factor to MPP delegates is competence. 24% mention competence. Next, work hard for the party is 21%. Integrity, 17%. Better manage the economy, 14%. Credible, 12%. It is his time. Only 6% of people say it's a priority for them. Unifier, 4%. Other reasons, 3%. So if you are a campaign team, this must guide you.
I like that. I like that guide.
Now, let's look at the key demography for the round 1. We are looking at the religious blocks, how they voted in round 1. Christians, BAWUMIA is deep blue, Allen is red, Kennedy is this light green, and then not disclosed people, and then undecided.
Undecided.
Christians, BAWUMIA 32%. They are backing BAWUMIA. 28% are backing Allen. 14% are backing Kennedy. 9% did not disclose Christians. And 16% said they were undecided. When it comes to the Muslims, 49% support BAWUMIA. 27% support Allen. 4% Kennedy. 10% not disclosed, and 10% undecided. And the other religions, you can see the breakdown. The key block of religion you have to look out for is Islam and Christianity.
So the Christian, okay, BAWUMIA's strategy has worked, I think. Maybe, well, let's go on. I don't want to be mischievous here. So let's go on. Yeah.
Voters by education. How are they voting for by education? BAWUMIA still the blue. People with junior high, BAWUMIA 36%, Allen 27%, Kennedy 11%, 9% not disclosed, and 16% said they are undecided. Those with senior high, BAWUMIA 33%, Allen 29%, Kennedy 13%, 15% undecided, and 9% not disclosed. Tertiary, BAWUMIA leads 38%, Allen 27%, Ken 16%, 7% said not disclosed, and 11% undecided. And those with no education, BAWUMIA still lead 32%, 26% for Allen, 10% for what do you call it? Those for Kennedy, and 11% not disclosed, and 20% undecided. The most important thing to look for Kennedy, look at his supporters. The largest part of his bloc are not people without education. They have degrees. 16% of Ken supporters, the largest group, have degrees. Don't discount him. Now, ethnic groups. All the ethnic groups we kind of accounted for in the poll. This is how they are voting. Akans, 32% BAWUMIA is leading Akan. That is very critical. Alan, 30%. Kennedy, 14%. The Guans, 27% for BAWUMIA, 44 for Alan, 5 for Ken. Among the Ghana Dangbes, 31 for BAWUMIA, 20 for Alan, and 24 for Kennedy. Among Evers, 24 for BAWUMIA, 26 for Alan, 10% for Kennedy. Moli Dagbani, 44 for BAWUMIA, 25 for Alan, and 2 for Kennedy. Among the Gruma, 72 BAWUMIA, 3% Alan, and 3% Ken. Among the Grushis, BAWUMIA 68, Alan 11, Kennedy 3%. Among the Mande group, 54% BAWUMIA, 25 for Alan, and 4% Kennedy. And the other tribes, clans put together, or the ethnic group put together, 38 for BAWUMIA, 25 for Alan, and 10% for Kennedy. So BAWUMIA is dominant in all the ethnic groups except the Ewe group.
Okay. Okay.
And then the runoff scenario. We asked them, the NPP regulations or constitution requires that you obtain 50% plus 1. In an event that there's no clear winner in the race, and the runoff is between BAWUMIA and Alan, who would you vote for? Here, the race turned its head upside down. 38% of delegates who spoke to us that they will vote for Alan. 37% of them will vote for BAWUMIA. But again, 16% said they are undecided. 9% they know, but they won't disclose. The runoff depends on, even the outcome of the runoff depends on the behavior of this bloc, which represents almost 25% of the delegates that we interviewed.
Is that huge?
It is huge. It is huge. In a stable election, you shouldn't have undecided around 5%.
Okay.
Otherwise, they can destabilize the race. Then we did the runoff by region. Runoff. Which candidate is doing well in what region? In the runoff, BAWUMIA still wins Ahafo. It still wins Ashanti region. But remember, 22% said they are undecided in Ashanti region. Bunu, BAWUMIA leads 45, Alan 41. Bunu East, BAWUMIA 58, Alan 26. Central region, BAWUMIA 16, Alan 60%. Eastern region, BAWUMIA 27, Alan 34. And then in Greater Accra, Alan 39, BAWUMIA 36. In Northeast, BAWUMIA 85. It hasn't changed. They were still voting the same way. Northern region, BAWUMIA 49, went up by just 1 percentage point. No change much. Alan 25. Oti, BAWUMIA 31, Alan 30. Savannah, BAWUMIA 23, Alan 55. Upper East, BAWUMIA 56, Alan 22. Upper West, 40, 28. Voter region 17, 29. Western region 30, 49. And Western North 24, 39. Pay attention to these undecided voters. Undecided in the yellow column, yellow color, and the sky blue. They are the ones that can change this race on its head. We don't know how they will vote yet. Now, this is the most important chart for me that the candidates must look at for. It tells you who are your allies and who could be your potential adversary. Now, what we did was that we looked at the way delegates were voting in the first round and how they decided to vote again in the second round. It tells you where the masses will move to in the runoff. Now, in the BAWUMIA, in the first round, 97% of people who went for BAWUMIA in the first round are still voting for him. A small percentage were voting for Alan in this runoff, about 2 or so percent, and the rest, they will not vote or undecided. Now, when it came to Alan, 98% of his people who went for him are still voting for him. 2% have gone somewhere else. Most have gone to BAWUMIA, and some said they will not vote. Look at Kennedy Japan. 72% of his supporters in the runoff will go and vote for Alan. 14% are voting for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And the rest of the candidates, even though they are scoring abysmal numbers, 55% of them are still voting for Alan. 25% of them said they will vote for Bawumia. So you could see that there's no natural ally for Bawumia in these blocks.
Yeah.
He is on his own. He must work on that. Otherwise, should there be a runoff, he will be out.
He will be out.
Now, we did analysis of delegates and the reasons they gave for their choices to understand what is really going in their head. Look at it. This is interesting. And I think both campaigns must look at this chart quite seriously. For those who said integrity, Bawumia, 39% of them went for Bawumia. The same number went for Alan, square, on integrity.
Okay.
No one has clear advantage on integrity among delegates. Worked hard for the party. Bawumia, 36. Alan, 45. They think Alan has worked harder for the party than Bawumia. That is subjective. We don't know why they are making that choice. Then competence. Bawumia is on 41%. Alan, 38. Bawumia leads by 3 percentage points on competence. On credibility, Bawumia, 41%. Alan, 38%. So 2 advantages in this area. Here is draw. Alan leads here. Now, on the issue of his time, 55% think the time is for Alan. 33% said Bawumia.
Okay.
Unifier, 40% Bawumia, 43% Alan. Better manage the economy, Bawumia 40, Alan 42 at this stage. But bear in mind that these factors don't weight the same. They have different weighting. Yeah. Remember, when it comes to competence, it was 24% of them who said competence. So you must analyze that in the context of importance of that factor. Unifier was about 4%. It wasn't a big issue. Economy, for them, is 12%. His time, about 5%. So even though Alan have advantage in these big areas, they did not account for didn't score higher on the overall rating of the delegates. Now, to go into the heads of the delegate to see what they could do or how their perception of the country's direction affects the candidates, especially Bawumia. This is what we did. Those who said right direction, 41% of them were voting for Bawumia. 37% were voting for Alan. 2% said they will not vote. 14 undecided. 6 did not disclose. We expected that Bawumia will have a huge lead in this category, but the lead is not that huge. So I think he has a trouble here. But those who said wrong direction, look at it. 25% of them are voting for Bawumia, and 41% are voting for Alan. So the people who are not happy with the country's direction prefer to go for Alan than Bawumia.
Okay.
That is why we are saying that whether he succeeds or not will also depend on the perception people have about where the country is headed, and so on and so forth. We also looked at the race in the context of performance of the president. People are saying that Nado will have a drag on Bawumia. Is it the case among delegates? Here, for those who approve Bawumia, 41%, sorry, for those who approve the president, 41% of them are voting for Bawumia. 37% are voting for Ken. Here again, Bawumia is not leading. He should be leading by huge margin here, but he's not.
If he has
so that is a problem for him. Right. When you come to those who disapprove the president, 20% are voting for Kennedy. 42% are voting for Alan. That is his advantage. So if this perception continues, it is likely it will be a problem for Bawumia going forward. Now, let's look at the key demographics and how they are voting. Interesting stuff. Among the accounts in the runoff, 34% will vote for BAWUMIA, 41% will vote for Alan, 16% said they are undecided, 7% did not disclose. Among the Guans, 26-51, Gan Adangwe 31-43, Ewes 22-33, Moli Dagbani 49-25, Guruma 69-10%, Grusi 69-12%, Mande 48-38, and others 39-31. So you could say that BAWUMIA has advantage in a lot of the smaller groups, but in the larger groups, I think there's a trouble for him in the larger groups.
Okay.
The Akans, the Gan Adangbes, the Ewes, and then the Guans.
Oh, okay.
Now, let's look at religious groups in the runoff. Christians, 34% are voting for BAWUMIA, 39% are voting for Alan. 16% said undecided, 9% said they will not tell us. Among Muslims, 48% for BAWUMIA. It should be doing far better than this. It's a problem.
I'm even surprised at the 31 for
31
Alan.
for Alan among Muslims. 9% said they are undecided, and another 9% said they won't tell us. So he needs to work on his Muslim numbers. It's quite bad. Traditional religion, 38 for BAWUMIA, he leads, Alan 28. And then 26% said they are undecided. Among other religions, BAWUMIA 28, Alan 36, and then 21% said they are not decided. And non-religion, BAWUMIA 24, Alan 49, 14% are undecided, and 9% said they won't tell us. And then you look at education. Junior high, BAWUMIA 37%, Alan 36%. 16% said they are undecided. They did target them, identify them, and win their hearts. Senior high, BAWUMIA 34, Alan 40. 15% undecided. Tertiary, BAWUMIA leads 40%, Alan 37%. 12% said they are undecided. They need to work hard on them to win them. No education, square, 34. And 20% said they are undecided among people who have no education or formal education. And that's the end of the survey.
Well, let me have Kofi come in.
Yeah, again, thank you for the information. Let's also say that this is on the back of the leading contenders having visited the delegates. Dr. BAWUMIA is yet to go and meet with the delegates.
But let's take note that polls are all things being equal.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But, you know, I have had the privilege of traveling across the country to go and speak to people on behalf of Dr. BAWUMIA, as an example. And then there are instances where you find that people want even their MP to state where he or she is before they take a decision.
Yeah.
And then there are people who are also saying that Dr. Maha, and they are very, very firm on that. Yeah, we hear you, but Dr. Maha, he hasn't spoken to us. So we appreciate what they have done. As I've said already, we are going to take a very critical look at it and make sure we leverage every opportunity we can, positive or negative, and build up on it or entrench it. To make sure if it's positive, we'll entrench it and make sure we sustain it. If it's negative, we'll work on it and make it a positive. Now,
Mr. Dankwa, is major to say that Dr. BAWUMIA has not visited delegates yet. So, with what you saw on the ground, do you think that his visit can make any drastic change?
I'm a pollster. I can already reflect what they tell me. You know, sometimes people know the candidates already, unless maybe they're expecting something from him before they decide. But if I'm voting on my conscience, I know who I have to vote for.
Yeah.
I don't need any incentives to do that.
It's not just a case of incentive. It's a case of, for example, you cited the case of hard work. Was it hard work or who has worked more or something like that? There was a bit about who has worked
harder for the party.
Worked harder for the party. Do you know there are a lot of things about the vice president that people don't know? And then I have had the privilege of traveling to speak to people, and then they go like, wow, we didn't know he's done this. We didn't know he's done this. That is why it's important for the vice president himself to go and tell a story.
Okay.
So somebody may be in the middle, undecided, yet to decide because they are not certain. Then there was a bit, another bit that came. I forgot that section also. But that also from
undecided or undisclosed.
No, the reasons, the adrumiso bit.
Yes.
The adrumiso bit also. When people typically have a position, but when you explain certain things to them, because people haven't really addressed their minds to the fact that the vice president has worked from 2008 and even before 2008, when President Kufuor was president. He contributed to the HIPIC program, for example, the redenomination as an example. People don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. So the question is, when you say adrumiso, when are you calculating the adrumiso bit? Then there is a bit about age, where the youth is saying that, no, you know what? Take me, for example. I'm a young person, but now I speak for government. There are a lot of competent elderly people who are in the party. So are we to say that if in the instance that an opportunity comes, we are going to say for all the work I have done, we are going to put me aside because there was an older person who joined the party in 1992. So you need a candidate to make a claim, make a strong claim that yes, somebody has been here, but there were some sacrifices a candidate also had to make. There were some sacrifices a candidate had to make. The candidate is now going to the people to tell them his sacrifices for the party, to explain to them why he has worked hard, why the mantra adrumiso doesn't work, because he has equally been in the party for over 20 years.
Does he feel offended by that?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Then the bit about the runoff, where I agree with Prof is that there is this growing sentiment, albeit falsely, that the establishment is for the candidate. So all the other candidates, there is this, let me not say all, some candidates have made comments to the effect that the establishment is doing something for the candidate. It is incumbent on Dr. BAWUMIA to make a claim that no.
But there's always the incumbency advantage.
But he is not an incumbent.
What is he?
He's just a standalone person. He happens to be a vice president. He's not an incumbent.
He's an incumbent.
How is he an incumbent, Annie?
He is.
No, you guys.
What doctor's been doing is just been listening in and has captured the common words and phrases that
I fully agree. Exactly. I'm saying that it is necessary for the candidate to elaborate on these things, to tell his story, to tell his sacrifices, to tell his loyalty, to make a stake at the game. That is when you realize that a lot of people who were perhaps undecided will take a stand. Now, lastly, Doc says something
our time
about...
is up, so...
No, very quickly. The MPs. You know, a lot of MPs are yet to go back to their constituencies and make a claim where they stand. That will factor. And now they are now doing that. That will factor. Doc, you see, the next runoff that you... The next
Doc, will you do it again?
We're going to do another one just before the election itself, around October.
Right, just before the election itself.
Yes.
So because that will be fair.
Very
then we
exactly. And then lastly, Annie, 70% said that they are okay with the governance and the presidency, right? 70%, 77%. Do you know what that connotes? What that connotes is that if we have a united front, the NPP, irrespective of the economic challenges, can still sail through.
Okay. This one says that, Annie, the high percentages in the northern parts does not mean anything. Density of the population in the north can not compare to same in the south, especially Ashanti and eastern regions. Our vice president must work harder and in the south. Wish them well. Kojo from Takrade. This one says that it's a pity that Africans continue to have taste for leaders who cannot help us. The thought of voting Dr. BAWUMIA as presidential candidate is a big problem in the NPP, and the NPP are not ready for good and credible leadership. Ken and Alan stand tall in credibility and competence than BAWUMIA. BAWUMIA is good. Okay, that one I won't read. This is from Apanga from Zibila. PC Apanga, thank you for the messages. About my time is up. So, Doc, I'm grateful that you came through. Musa Dankwa is actually the Executive Director for Global Info Analytics. He's been serving us with back and forth here and there with some polls in this electioneering season. We're so grateful for that assistance. Kofi Tonto is also from the NPP, speaks for the party, and happens to be on the BAWUMIA It Is Possible team. Today is your day, so you've gotten a lot of airtime.
The signal is very strong. The signal is very strong.
I can feel the signal.
Oh, yeah.
But mine is low.
Oh, it's strong. It's strong.
Thanks for watching. This has been Good Afternoon, Ghana.